Hi, my name is Nora Kedora, and I'm going to be presenting on Malcolm X. Who is Malcolm X? Malcolm X is an African American leader who addressed racial pride and black nationalism in the 1960s. As a teenager, he became involved in petty crimes and was soon sent to prison for robbery. While in prison, he converted to the faith of Islam and joined the Nation of Islam, a movement that combined elements of Islam with black nationalism. Malcolm X was able to express the anger and frustration of African Americans during the civil rights movement. He preached and spoke at universities. He criticized mainstream rights movements and challenged other civil rights leaders. Not only did he argue the importance of ending segregation and discrimination, but talked that the most important issues were black identity, integrity, and independence. Unlike MLK, he urged people to defend themselves against white aggression by any means necessary. This next video shows how he advocated for blacks to stand up for themselves.
How black people really feel and how fed up we are without that old compromise and sweet talk. Stop sweet talking him. Tell him how you feel. Tell him what kind of hell you've been catching.
Malcolm X advocated for racial, economic, and social justice. Being widely known as Muslim, in his speech he addressed that he didn't want religion to be involved in his work for justice. He said it was his personal business. His speech questions the power of religion as he says it should be left in the closet. This is very different from a lot of other rebellions and speeches, as people mention religion to unify each other. However, X thought it would only do the opposite. He thought the difference in religion could impede on solidarity, so it's important to him that his personal faith was not involved. He was very passionate about the true understanding of the political side of black nationalism. He thought it was about creating a unified black community that refuses to be manipulated by whites. This meant the black community is being misled into voting for politicians who do not have the black community's best interest at heart. He believed white liberals and government have failed them and they will only be liberated from their own efforts. He also believed that blacks should only spend in the community they live in. He urged blacks to stop giving whites their money and invest their money in the black community. He believed whites have trapped blacks in an economic system that does not profit them. He thought it was important to open stores and businesses and for blacks to support black businesses so they did not have to rely on their oppressors, he mentions in his speech. I see a lot of similarities between William Edward Burghardt Du Bois and Malcolm X. Du Bois insisted on full civil rights and increased political representation after Booker T. Washington agreed to submit to whites if granted basic educational and economic opportunities. Similarly, Malcolm X questioned other activists during his time and opted for more. He thought MLK's notion of integration and nonviolence would only promote a white society. He thought black identity and pride was important and that blacks should not try and integrate themselves in a white society, but allow that society to become more diverse. He also disagreed with MLK and thought that it was important that his followers defend themselves, unlike MLK, who thought it was important to not react in situations of discrimination. Malcolm X continues to influence people today. One of the most famous producers and artists, Kanye West, has been inspired to include some of Malcolm X in his work. He references X's speech in 2 of his songs over the last 10 years. A play on words by Any Means Necessary, West writes lyrics like, "I'm fly like Malcolm X by any means necessary," saying he's the more modern and cooler version of Malcolm X. In his other song, Black Skinheads, he uses the famous quote to highlight the theme of black militancy and racial anger he is bringing with this song and the album in general. Thank you.